It's nice to meet you. It's a great honor to see you in a real life, you know.
This is real life. Hi, it's really nice to meet you too. I'm Tara Patrick.
Actually, this is supposed to be a radio interview, but I'm going to film. I think you won't mind. I think you're a person who is used to the presence of a camera.
Yes, I always say that life is not worth living unless there's a camera around.
Okay, there aren't situations where you are disturbed.
Disturbed? No, there's not much that really gets to me, but I think that having been an actress in the porn business for as many years as I have, and having had a camera in the most intimate and sometimes violating places has not only humbled me but has made me pretty fearless. So
Tell me a little bit about yourself.
Oh, well, when I've been filming, I've never been asked to talk about myself.
It's because
you kind of meet the guy you're working with that day. You shake hands, and then it's like, let's fuck. No, I actually started in the adult film industry in 1999. I was born in Montana, raised in San Francisco. I was a nurse for 4 years. I got into the porn industry through Playboy magazine. That was the first thing that I posed for. My second magazine was Penthouse. My third magazine was Hustler. And my very first movie was shot in 1999. It was for a director named Andrew Blake. It was called Aroused. And I won my very first award at the Hot Dior Film Festival in May of 2000. I won the Best New American Starlet.
Why I asked this question, it was actually because I think most of the new porn films, they start with that question, you know.
Oh, really?
there aren't so many story-based films anymore. Everyone just try to talk girls to a sex, you know. Nice job interview starts just question like that, and it shows to be a nasty blow job, fuck, and a facial scene, you know. What do you think it tells about the world we are living in?
Wow, I hope you have enough tape for this answer. No, I'm just kidding. You know what? The one thing that I love about me personally about shooting porn is, one, it's an outlet for me sexually, obviously, because I do enjoy the sex. But I think creatively, I've been able to shoot all types of different movies. When I started my company, TerraVision, in 2003, I had this vision that what I wanted to see porn movies be, and that was beautiful women not being degraded, because porn is a very large umbrella that encompasses everything from Playboy on one side to the hardest of the hardcore on the other side. And I believe, for me anyway, porn is, I love erotica. I love seeing hot, nasty sex. I love seeing beautiful women, men. I think that the act of sex is absolutely, it's something that we've been given as an incredible gift. But I feel really lucky that I've been able to stay on top in the industry all this time.
There is actually one thing I'd like to see in a porn industry. You know, I watched movie Blade Runner last weekend, and it's just
the mainstream movie Blade Runner.
Yeah, with the Harrison Ford.
I'm like, did they make a porn movie of Blade Runner?
I hope not, because it's so great movie, you know. Oh, there's this one particularly good love-making scene. The Harrison Ford takes this female cyborg or android with he's like a half rapist and half gentleman. It's so great. But the movie, it's just a pure visual ecstasy from second to second. The play of the light and shadow and all the colors.
Yeah.
Why in the world they don't make porn like that?
Because we don't have the money, you know. Well, one thing about, the porn industry is we shoot movies in 2-3 days on a very, limited budget, and what we are able to shoot and accomplish looks really darn good for what we have to work with. But one of my a movie that I just saw recently that I think is incredibly amazing that I would love to see remade as a porn movie is True Romance with Christian Slater and Patricia Arquette. That's a fucking hot movie, and I love David Lynch for one, and I think that he's amazing. But that would be a really hot movie to shoot, in porn. So if I ever get back in front of the camera again, I might be looking for my Christian Slater.
I have actually one suggestion, because I really like to see a good science fiction porn movie. They all really suck. They're terrible. But
the ones you've seen in porn?
Yeah,
oh, okay.
Yeah. And I've seen some of them. I would like to ask if you would act in a science fiction porn movie, and it would be about the monster who comes to mate with the habitant of the Earth. What kind of monster would it be?
Have you seen Cafe Flesh?
No.
You need to see Cafe Flesh.
Okay. Oh, is it about the monster who has a penis inside of his mouth?
I don't remember that.
Okay.
I'd like a monster who had lots of hands, lots of arms, because I love my entire body being touched at one time. And for me, like, I shot, the most I did was a scene with 2 guys. I never did more than 2 guys, but if I was to ever shoot a scene with multiple guys, it wouldn't necessarily be about being penetrated multiply. I love the touch. I'm very sensitive. I love my skin, my neck, my hair. I love all that being touched. So if I was to ever be violated by a monster, I would just want his hands every which way all over me.
Yeah, so if you could see that movie in internet, it would be tagged something like gangbang by one creature, and there would be also tagged, but also sensual.
Yeah, definitely.
You have been working, as you said, for the Playboy and Penthouse, and you have done hundreds of movies which have been a great success. And if you don't mind, I could say that you're kind of a mainstream porn star. Yeah. What's actually the most weirdest or most underground porn movie you have ever been in?
Not in a porn movie. I did do a lot of bondage.
Yeah.
Before I did actual, porn movies, I did bondage under a different name. I'll let you try to figure that out. But no, I did a lot of foot fetish, foot worship, tickling, and bondage. And I love it. I love pain, but it wasn't necessarily about the pain. I did a lot of worship, and I love being worshipped, and I love worshiping. So I did some tickling videos, and that was fun because I'm very ticklish. And I remember actually doing a foot worship video, and the man that I was working with put baby oil on the soles of my feet, and I went, "What are you doing?" And he went, "I'm a soul man." And I went, "Okay, so hey, to each his own."
I once saw this porn clip. It was shot in a film, which was great. Film is so beautiful. There was 2 women, and they were first they were arguing, and then they started to fight, and it turns out to be some kind of a lesbian wrestling scene, and they were ripping their clothes off in it and that kind of stuff. And there was one particularly great thing. It was all slow motion. Extremely slow motion, and I think it's one of the most memorable porn clip I've ever seen. Could you tell something about your experience with some particular clip?
I remember doing a sex scene. It was actually with a Spanish performer named Nacho, and
Nacho like a food.
Yeah, his name was Nacho. Yeah, Nacho like nachos. But he was so passionate, and I remember It was the first European guy that I ever worked with, because I had worked with American performers, and I just remember the passion that came out of him while we were filming was unlike. It was different, it was very different. It was not mechanical. It was really real. And I remember just the way he looked at me and the way he had sex with me. I remember thinking, wow, this is a man that loves, what he does. So it was nice.
You just released a book this year, beginning of this book. Is there any particular you want to say about that book? Go and buy it.
My latest book is called Sinner Takes All. It's published by Penguin. And I just was so happy to have the opportunity to write my life story for my fans. It starts with me talking about my childhood, and it goes up until, it talks about the 10 years I spent in the industry, my early modeling career in fashion. And to me, it was cathartic to write.
I'd like to ask you if you have anything to say for those who watched this interview just for the wank.
Was it good for you too? No. It's interesting because I have actually been asked, are you offended that men masturbate to you? Are you offended that men just look at you as a sex object? Absolutely not. I feel that as a woman, that men don't just masturbate to me because I'm a porn star. You guys will masturbate to the woman in the grocery store. Hey, we're sexual beings. We're primal. We're hungry for, we have to release. I think that holding it in is not a good thing. And it makes me feel good that I'll put it this way. I talk about it in my book. I was inspired very early on in my life by Marilyn Monroe. I remember looking at her and feeling like I want that power. I want to be that woman that people look at and love her for her beauty. And you know what? I think that without sounding, big on my head, I think that I did accomplish that, and it's a good feeling. It's nice to know that people do look at you and think you're pretty, But it doesn't make your life any easier. It makes me feel good inside. But I think that, hey, I tell you what, I look at Christian Bale and get off. I look at my boyfriend and get off. So, it's a good thing.